Hey Tamoretsi, my name is Rob White, coming straight out of Rustenburg, the 014 Platinum City. You are listening to Urban Info Podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to provide you with relevant news, information, and discussing youth-related issue in open discussion that is more likely to aid you in your livelihood. Welcome, and of course, I guess I'm making my bro, J95.
Welcome to the Urban Info Podcast, episode number 8. My name is J95. What's good, Raps?
I'm awesome, Jay. What's up?
Easy, man. Now, let's get into this. Today's discussion is how can one live an effective and productive daily life? Raps, do you think it's possible to live such a life, 365? I believe it's possible, though. How about you?
With consistency, determination, and no rushing the process, Jay, it's impossible. It's possible. It's possible with only determination, consistency, and not rushing the process. Problem that we youth are facing is lacking a permanent span of all those three things I just mentioned, which is consistency, determination, and patience. It never lasts for long, and then we begin to rush the process, and then when this thing happened, we happen to have a limit of time which we expect the result to happen fast, because we say, okay, I want to do this, and at the same time I want to see the result in like 2 to 3 months, which is I don't say it's impossible, but it's undoable lifespan you put for your things. And when only 20% of it happen, you think you failed. So I think that's one thing we lack the most, which is patience. But if we can treat every situation like Chinese do when they grow the bamboo tree, then we can go far, because the Chinese take a little seed and then they plant it. After they plant it, it takes years of watering and fertilization without even seeing the process. After 5 years, it takes 6 weeks to grow about 90 feet tall. 90 feet tall, J95. So we need patience, because at the bottom, man, that's where we will find the heaven.
Yeah, man, you're right. I agree. Consistency,
determination, and patience.
Those are kind of like, because honestly, I mean, you need all, like, they go hand in hand, because it's consistency, doing it every single day, and you're determined about doing this
every day,
and then you have to be patient.
That's what matters the most, man. I think it's 6 units in terms of those. If I have to break them into percentage, man, it's 50% of patience, 25% of determination, and 25% of consistency.
Because patience is like the biggest one.
Because if you lack patience, man, you might be consistent at what you do, but if you lack patience of seeing that thing that you are doing happen, then at the end of the day, man, you say, okay, I've been patient, I've been determined, but this thing doesn't work because of lacking of patience.
Yeah. I mean, I guess determination could also go back to focus and we could tie that to focus, determination and patience.
It goes along with focus.
Because like you say, you do one thing and then you do another, and then you take on another, you take on more than you can handle.
Another thing, man, I think that we should do...
you haven't mastered taking on one specific thing, focusing on it, and being consistent, determined, and patient with it.
Yeah, I'm saying that one thing that I think we should do, that we are failing to do, is doing a lot of things at the same time, man. As much as we, human beings, can do a lot of things at the same time, but we have to put it in a way we should break them into a way of saying, okay, this is how I'm spending my day. You see, if you can plan ahead your day and say, okay, tomorrow I'm doing this and I'm doing this, see how doable those things are. Because at the same time, you might say, I'm going to see 10 people tomorrow, different location, which is something that is hard to do, because at the end of the day, you're going to lack doing other things, and then that becomes a habit of just living things like that. So if you can plan ahead your day and then do things that are doable, man. If you're going to jog, go to jog for 1 hour, and then also give your time a space in time to rest, because at the same time, that's body we have to reward it with resting, man.
I mean, this is the kind of life I'm trying to lead right now, as I become more and more self-aware, I realize a lot of things about myself, So, I mean, they say I'm an Aries,
Yeah.
I'm an Aries, the noble ram, the goat, which is the classified as a demon as a demon, in the Bible, as a demon creature. And they say Aries are like a lot of consistency, they get all fired up about doing something, and then as soon as they get bored, they're like, whatever.
You're just leaving it.
I guess that's kind of true. I kind of seen that, and then I look back, I was like, oh smokes, I need to change that. I need to change that, and that's one thing I've been doing. I have one thing that I do every single morning that I'm consistent about. I've been consistent about it since last year, even to this day. I mean, it's like my body knows, like my mind, my body knows that this has to be done. As soon as you wake up, this has to be done. If somehow it slips my mind, it will be like, oh smokes, you haven't done this yet.
The Hindu have something they call mantra, man.
Yeah.
You know what mantra is? It's circulating in one place but thinking that you are going somewhere.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you might think it's a repetition of doing something, a habit of saying, okay, I'm doing this, and then you spend time doing it. At the same time, you think maybe you're not doing it anymore, but subconsciously you're doing it. So body is, man, it's something else in building a habit, because the moment we build a habit, that's when we'll be able to say, okay, this is how I'm going to live my life. But I think, man, we should plan ahead and then live our life perfectly, because at the end of the day, man, to be caught up in the system that you created within your mind is something that is totally not cool, man.
Yeah, that is one thing, because it becomes a routine, and as humans, our minds, we always want to control everything. So feeling like, you create a system where you control yourself, like with a routine.
Yeah.
And then at some point you're like, I man, swag. What the heck am I doing? Why am I?
And then you jump into another routine. I think life is a routine, man.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of which routine you choose.
I mean, it's crazy. Recently, I saw something, a post that says like, a birthmark indicates how you died in the previous life, and it's like,
oh yeah, the reincarnation kind of thing. But I think it do, man, because I once spent time looking at the reincarnation and how it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a simulated kind of thing or a scripted thing. The video that I was seeing, I was on YouTube checking out the videos about reincarnation. I saw kids like 6 years old who were talking about how they died in their previous life. And the way they're talking about how they died in their previous life, you was find someone, okay, the investigating police go to dig out the body that they were killed. It's a very complicated one, man, because in life, man, I think life is in such a way that it's a mystery, man. It's a mystery, and we only know a little, and we think we know a lot. But to be honest, man, I think we have to go back and look back into it, because you find that kid saying, okay, my name is who, and then I was died in this time, at this time, exactly the same date in which that person was died. I was died in a room 2015, around this time, it was died, a burning house. And if they go back linking that with whatever happened, they'll find that actually person, the way he is. And then there's another one who was stabbed with a sword. Yeah, a sword was stabbed. And oh God, and that sword was buried in a very high place. So in her body there were birthmarks there, and then which she claimed that it was the one that happened when she was stabbed to death. So,
but I mean, if it's all going to be about the birthmark, okay, this is how you died, we're all gonna say we were stabbed. Probably means we were stabbed. I mean, my birthmark is so tiny. I mean, I was looking at it, I was like, what, was I a druggie? But I was like, nah, they probably could have been more around the same area.
Maybe you were psychedelic, man. You were at the point where you were high in life. But now, man, let's talk about what's preventing us from leading such a daily life.
I mean, like we said, lacking everything that you've mentioned, lacking focus, but ones that could be quite a big factor is being influenced by what's going on outside of your own reality, in your own realm, looking outside for, things to do, looking outside, like trying to follow people, you know, living in, the conditioning
Other
of,
people's shadow.
exactly, living in the conditioning that, okay, this is what people do when they're bored. Let me do it, and it's sort of like, okay, everybody's doing TikTok. Let me do TikTok.
One thing that I realized, man, is it's hard to walk alone your path. So most people, what they do, instead of walking alone their path, they're taking another people and make them walk their journey with them. If happen, like maybe I'm into rugby and I happen to love rugby, I'll take a friend of mine and say, okay, man, let's go and play rugby. He'll spend like 15 years of his entire life playing rugby with me, only to find out that person never even liked rugby. So at the end of the day, man, that's what people are doing. And if you are not aware of those kind of things, that okay, I'm helping a person walking his path right now, and what about mine? I think, man, you're going to die a very terrible death, which will be haunted by most of your dream that will come to you. Like Les Brown once said that, they say the dream in your deathbed come to you and say that we came to you and only you could have given us life, but now we have to die with you forever. So those are the kind of things that we should do.
It's a very powerful one.
Yeah,
yes.
So I think it's up to us, man, to be able to determine what do we really want and then focus on them.
Yeah. So how productive and effective is your daily life now compared to like 5 years back?
Back then, man, I would just woke up and accept what the day bring to me. And I go with the flow, and it used to give me a senseless life, man. That is full of unproductivity, but that all changed when with the mere productivity came when I decided to plan ahead my day. And that's when I decided, okay, if I can plan my day ahead, and then it become productive the way it is right now, then if I can make it a habit of saying, okay, tomorrow when I wake up, this is what I do up to this time, and then after that I'm doing this for maybe 2 hours, and that way it's giving you a way in which you can say, okay, if I have to study, I'm going to study for 2 hours. If I have to gym, I have to gym for 30 minutes. Because if you just wake up and say, okay, I'll decide when I decide, someone will come to you and say, okay, let's go. That's when you'll be living to other people's reality and not walking your path. Because you might be needing to do something, but because you didn't plan ahead, you'll be having to struggle to do the things you never even intended to do. You might even study the entire day. Not studying, just putting the books in front of you, because you didn't plan to say, okay, I'm studying from this time to this time. If you are going to jog, you might go to jog the whole day. So the best thing to do, man, is to plan ahead. If you can plan ahead, that's when you'll be able to know that, okay.
Plans.
I don't know, man. And you, what do you think? What makes you your day productive the way you think?
Man, honestly, like the most important thing for me right now, before anything else, is having a clear mind.
Clear mind, yeah.
Having a clear and sound mind, because there's always a lot of racket, a lot of noises going on in my head. And for the longest of time, I haven't known peace. And I realized that these noises and this lack of peace is the result.
The voices in your head. It's like a schizophrenia.
Yeah. And it's all on me. I've caused this. I've done this to myself for the longest of time, And it's about having a clear mind. Once I have a clear mind, I can have clear ideas and clear plans I can follow through. But as much as I'll plan ahead and make plans, there's always going to be something that breaks that routine, like you said, a mantra.
Yeah.
And I know that, and I've been in that mantra where I plan things for the day, I follow through, at one point something breaks it. Okay, I go back, I start over from scratch, just like the world, man.
Yeah.
It's in orbit, we're in orbit. So, but to have a clear, productive day, honestly, it always has to start with having a clear mind, having a clear mind, planning ahead, just like that, planning ahead, exercising, and I guess, exercise. I mean, doing something, not being in the same place for the longest of time, because being in the same place for the longest of time is really, as much as I try, it really doesn't work for me, man. So, but having enough, getting enough sleep, not too long enough.
Not too long.
You know,
because at the end of the day, enough is too long for other people.
Enough is too long, you know, and too long, I feel like the body hibernates. You want to get up, but the body's so exhausted, and it still wants to, you know.
Life is busy out there. While you are sleeping, people are making decisions for you. So it's better to be out there and be able to contribute to the economy for whatever that is happening. So that way you'll be able to voice out your opinion and say, okay, this is not what I like about my country that I'm living into. Unlike having to sleep and say, okay, I just woke up and everything changed. Because the moment you sleep for so long, that's when you'll wake up and say, find the earth orbited to another direction. And you say, okay, I slept yesterday, the world was this side. So those are the kind of things.
Which reminds me of a meme of a guy. It's like he's sleeping, and like when the alarm goes off and you snooze it for 5 minutes, and then you wake up 10, 15 years later, married, you know, with 2 kids and a dog named Danger. Like, what the F, man? But besides what I do, you know, besides my own little mantra and what I do to have a, you know, productive and effective daily life, I mean, to you guys, I'd say plan, you know, make plans, plan ahead. I mean, planning is basically just going ahead of time and making sure that when the time comes.
Yeah, plans might not go exactly the way you're planning, but at the same time, if you can at least be able to skew them to benefit you, I think that can work, because at least 90% of your plan, let it succeed.
Yeah.
That's where you know you had a successful day.
100. So plan, give yourself enough time to rest, set daily doable goals.
Yes.
Stay hydrated.
Not unrealistic goals, man. Because some people would set unrealistic goals. Same goes along with writing a book, man. A lot of people, you know, have you ever had a feeling in yourself where you say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm writing a book, or I'm writing something, or I'm starting something. And that feeling start right now, and then you get intensively towards it, and then you write for like maybe say 2 chapters or 3 chapters, and the following day you never feel the same way you used to feel. So if you don't think of finishing something right now, whatever you're starting, because remember, Rome was not built
in one day.
Nope. So give yourself time.
Yeah, so stay hydrated, you know, get that agua in your system, do daily exercises, and self-inspire. Well, look for inspirational people, you know, who will help you.
Get yourself inspired.
Get yourself out of bed.
Yeah, they say your network determine your net worth. So if you can find your associates, be network with people who can add value into your life, that's when you go far, man. They say, show me your 5 friends, then I'll show you your future. Yeah. Remember that always.
Yeah, man. So I'd say with inspiration, find a video, you know, a bunch of videos that are inspirational, motivational, you know, at least for a week, you know, go the whole week watching the same video, at least in the morning, in the afternoon, you know, so that, and then in the second week, following weeks, always get a new one, so that it doesn't get tedious and you feel like, I know this now. It's like you see a movie that you've seen 1,000 times.
Write yourself an affirmation, man. Affirmation that you can look upon and say, this is my life and this is how I will be, this is how we live. And always, man, if you can follow the right affirmation, I think that's what can motivate you to live your life to the fullest. If you can also, every morning when you wake up, say that it's possible, it's not by mistake, I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, and I can conquer the world.
And believe in it when you say that.
And believe in it when you say it.
Faith, say it, you know, like you know it, say it.
Yeah, it's possible, I can do it every day.
Yeah.
Life, man, need me. If you can believe that life needs you and you can make an impact in life, that's when you go far.
Yeah, start small.
Yeah, man. I think that's the end of our discussion, right?
Yeah, man. That is it, man.
Yeah, Moretsi, this is the end of discussion, and this is how on topic called how to live an effective and productive life daily. My name is Rob So Wide, and you are awesome. Jay?
Okay, now that is the end of the episode. Shout out to everyone supporting Urban Info Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification button, and follow us on Instagram at UrbanInfoPod_, on Twitter at UInfoPod. Stream the podcast on Spotify and Anchor. We are also on SoundCloud as Urban InfoPod. Hey man, wake up, smell the flowers, let the wind kiss your face, take a dump, and have a productive day. Pure bliss. My name is Z95, number Thraps Worldwide. Peace out and carpe diem.